This is Joy Roland, and you're listening to episode 18 of the It's Possible podcast. Should I sell my investments? Welcome to the It's Possible podcast. This is the podcast that sparks the transformation of your money mindset, empowering you to pave the way for financial success and wealth creation. This is where we study what the wealthiest and most successful people do. Not only do we study these successful people, we implement what we learn so that we create the life we want and deserve. Hi there, my name is Joy Roland, your host. I created wealth from changing my money mindset. Yes, it's possible for you too. So pour yourself a cup of coffee or tea. This is going to be fun. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 18 of the It's Possible podcast. I have to apologize beforehand. I have a cold, but because I absolutely love recording these podcasts for you guys, I just had to do it. So bear with me with my voice. Um, so the preparations for the holidays are in full swing. Like it's just so beautiful to see how everyone is so excited. And I think that's the beauty of the holidays. Like, I know a number of people might be going through a lot right now in the world, but just having something to cheer us up, I think is very good. So I'm very excited for the holidays. What are you doing for the holidays? I hope you are planning something fun for yourself and your family. Okay, let's dive in. Today, we're going to be talking about selling investments. Before we dive in, I want to read one review for this podcast, written by Turtle underscore 1973. The title of her podcast, her review is If You Want to Build Wealth, Hit the Play on This. And she writes, so many of us are going through life with disempowering money stories. If you want to improve your money outlook and learn how to build wealth, listen to this podcast. Thank you so much, Turtle underscore 1973. It absolutely means a lot to me that you took the time out from your very busy day to write me this review. I truly appreciate it. Now, if you haven't left me a review yet, please head on over to Apple Podcast and write a review for this show. Each week, I will feature one review so I can personally thank you. Okay, let's dive into today's topic. Should I sell my investments? This was a question my client asked me in one of our private sessions this week, and I thought it would be a very great podcast topic because I feel a number of people might be thinking this. This question might linger in the minds of many investors. Should I sell my investments? It's a question that arises during market fluctuations, life changes, or when we simply reassess our financial strategies. So let's dive in and explore this deeper. Now, there are a number of considerations when you think of selling investments. Consideration number one is evaluating your investment objectives. Now, first things first, let's take a step back and evaluate your investment objectives. What were your initial goals when you decided to invest? Have these goals changed over time? Understanding why you invested in this first place can shed a lot of light on whether to sell and whether your decision will align with your objectives. Consideration number two, market volatility and emotional decisions. Now, market fluctuations often trigger emotional reactions and responses. Fear and uncertainty might prompt thoughts of selling, but it's absolutely crucial to analyze if these emotions are clouding your rational judgment. Now, one thing I want you to realize is that fluctuations are absolutely normal. Yes, fluctuations are normal. The market doesn't go in one direction. So, when I say the market, I'm referring to the stock market and the real estate market. Now, these markets never go in one direction. It's almost like is cyclical, right? It goes up, down, up, down, up, down. The people that make the most money in the markets are people that are patient and people that don't make rash decisions. Now, if you go on Yahoo Finance, for example, and pull up a graph of S&P 500 or any stock that does well, maybe Apple or Google, any of those stocks, you'll see that they always have ups and downs, right? Now, um, newbie investors or rookie investors, investors that don't know what they're doing, will panic and sell off when the market goes down, right? So you have to be very careful that um your contemplation on whether to sell your investments or not is not driven by an emotional response to what the market is doing. Okay? Consideration number 3 is rebalancing your portfolio. Now, sometimes selling investments is part of a strategic move to rebalance your portfolio. Now, um, rebalancing involves adjusting your asset allocation to manage your desired risk return profile. Now, portfolio rebalancing is similar to fine tuning an instrument to maintain harmony. Over time, market fluctuations can cause your portfolio asset allocation to deviate from your original investment strategy. Now, this imbalance might expose you to more risk than you're comfortable with or limit your potential returns. Now, imagine you initially set your target allocation to, let's say, for example, 60% stocks and 40% bonds. Now, if, for example, due to market performance, stocks grew at a faster rate, pushing your allocation to 70% stock and 30% bonds. Now, in that example, you might want to consider rebalancing, which involves selling off a portion of your overperforming assets, in this case, the stocks, to buy more of the underperforming assets, which is bonds, right? Which will then restore to your original asset allocation. So, portfolio rebalancing is a consideration when you are thinking of selling off investments. Now, consideration number 4 is life changes and financial goals. Life events like maybe buying a house, starting a business, or nearing retirement might warrant a review of your investments. Now, these life changes will dictate which of your investments you want to liquidate. If for example you found a great investment property and you think that liquidating some of your stocks to fund that property purchase makes sense, then yes, I would encourage you to look into selling off your stocks, right? So um this was what I asked my client actually in the private session. If um your goals have changed and you wanted to, let's say, invest more in real estate, then yes, it makes sense to sell off some of your stocks to fund that property purchase. But bear in mind that you shouldn't just sell off a whim or off of your emotions. You have to make sure you sell at the right time. Okay? Now, consideration number 5 is the tax implication and cost. Now, selling off investments can have tax consequences and transaction costs. Understanding these implications is absolutely crucial in making informed decisions. Now, when contemplating selling investments, it is very imperative to consider the financial implication beyond the transaction itself, because taxes and costs associated with selling that investment can significantly impact your overall returns and financial strategies. One of the primary considerations when it comes to taxes, when you want to sell, is capital gains tax. Now, when you sell an investment that has appreciated in value, the profit from that sale, known as capital gains, is subject to taxation, and that's why we call it capital gains tax. The rate at which your capital gains are taxed depends on various factors. including how long you held the investment, whether short term or long term, and your personal tax bracket. Now, investments held for less than 1 year are considered short term, and the gains from the sales are taxed at your ordinary income tax rate, which can be significantly higher than long term capital gains tax rates. On the other hand, investments you've held for more than 1 year qualify for long term capital gains tax, which is typically lower than the short term rate. So you have to be very careful when you want to sell. Before you hit that sell button on your stocks, look at what the taxes will be, because you might be very surprised. The taxes will be way more than the profit you think you'll be realizing by selling those stocks. So there you have it, my friends. The decision to sell investments isn't just straightforward. There's a nuanced process, and it involves various factors, which includes your goals, your the market conditions, and your personal circumstances. Remember, making an informed decision is key. Do not make rash decisions based on your emotions. Thank you for tuning in for this episode of It's Possible. Join me next time as we continue to unravel the mysteries of the financial world, empowering you to achieve your dreams. Until then, stay curious, stay empowered, and always remember, it's possible. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. If this episode encouraged, inspired, or taught you something new, please do me a huge favor by leaving me a review. Just head on over to Apple Podcast, find the show, go to the main page of the show, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see a section where you can write me a review. And lastly, come on over to my Facebook group where you get support as you build wealth. This is an exclusive group of high achieving and ambitious women actively working on getting rich. Find the link to the group in the show notes. I hope to see you back here soon. God bless you.